This screencast will show how to author courses in Scale. It's relatively simple, and you basically go to the Scale editing tool, which is right here, and open it up. By default, it will come up with the demonstration course, and I recommend at this point uh, you go and take a look at the demonstration course if you haven't done so already. And it's shown here at Scale, and you can roll through it by clicking the next button and seeing the various options it's got. So let's go back to the editor. So let me give you an orientation to the way the screen works here. Over here, these are all the learning panes that you have, and they're basically organized hierarchically. So in this case, Scale is the topmost level. This introduction is the next level, how it works, etc. And as you click on each one of these things, you basically can edit any of the panes. So if we wanted to change how it works and essentially say make it red, it's a rich text editor. Make the font bigger. Things like that. So that's that area. So we've got within here. This is how you would change the title, how it works. Now we save the changes, and there that shows up there. You can the other things here. You add a new pane by adding a new one in there, and we need to rename it. We'll just call it new pane. And then we can rearrange it any way we want. So I could say I really wanted it in the introduction, so I'm going to shift it and move it over here to the introduction, and now it's part of the introduction. So you can use this tree to move the panes around in the course as you please. Down here, this is where you would add questions. There's a question editor when you're doing assessments. So an assessment is really a collection of questions, and I'm not going to really talk about the rules or the active media screens here. In there. So we could preview, at any point we can preview the course. We click preview, and it opens up a new screen, and we look through here, and you can see that our changes are reflected on that. The first thing we need to do is create a spreadsheet to hold our course. We store them on your Google Drive. So what you need to do is then open up your own Google Drive account, and I'll open up mine. And I'm going to create a new Google Sheets and just do a blank one. And we'll call this the authoring. Authoring guide. Now, very important here, you need to share it, and in the advanced things, make it so that anybody with a link can view it. Otherwise, the course will be private only to you, which is not so useful. So we're going to save it. Okay, now we're done. Now we've made the spreadsheet. Let's go back. Let's go to Scale, and let's use our spreadsheet now. So if you click on here, that's the last few digits of the spreadsheet ID. That's how we identify them. So we click on it, and what happens is it brings up my Google Docs thing, and here's the new one that I just added, the authoring guide. So I just click on it in the spreadsheets, and now essentially we have a blank spreadsheet. So now I'll start filling it in. So let's do something with Jefferson and Adams, say. So we'll say, so I'm going to make my first pane. Okay, we'll save the changes. And again, at any point we could preview our course. We've only got one pane in it. And there it is, a course about Jefferson and Adams. So let's go back. But let's say, I think A course about Jefferson should have something about Jefferson, so we're going to click on that one. Now this is how we set the hierarchy. Obviously we can change the hierarchy later, but right now I click on the main pane and I'm going to add a new pane, and this one's going to be about Thomas Jefferson. Okay, and now let's I think we need to, let's find a picture to put in. So I'm going to go to Google and find, let's say, oh, let's take this one. So I go to it and essentially I right click on it, copy the link address. So now it's in my clipboard, and so now I go to the image part, I paste the spreadsheet in there, and then I can decide how big to make it. Now by default they go to pixels, but I like percentages so that we can scale to all the screens. So we'll say we'll make it 80% and nothing high. Okay, and there it is. We probably need some text too. So oddly enough, we'll go to Wikipedia and grab some text and put it in there. Save the changes, and let's add in one for Adams too while we're at it. So we're going to go click up to this one again. We're going to add the Adams to it. So we're going to add a new pane. We'll call this one John Adams. So now we save the changes. Now we basically have three panes. We've got the starting pane, the thing like that. Just say under Jefferson, I'd like to add a movie now. So let's add a pane, and I'm going to go say this is the movie. And let's go to YouTube, oddly enough. So I go to YouTube, and where do I have one? Oh, Drunk History. I'm going to get the link. So in the share option, and I copy it. And I'm going to go add a macro to put the video in. So video, and put the link in, and we'll save it. Now we're going to save the changes, and let's preview and see where we're at here. Okay, let's go in. That's our Thomas Jefferson one, and here's our movie. And we've got a movie in there.
The Constitution can't with that, but they loved each other.
Okay, we oftentimes want to put assessment in. So let's do a question. So we're going to go add a question, and we click here. Say question name is born. We want to find out when he was born. So is he born? And the text is type when TJ was born. And I could put a picture in, and right, yes, sorry, try again. And we could give a couple different tries. So I'm going to say give it 2 tries, and now let's put in the actual, let's see. Put in an ID, that's how we call it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add an option, say 1976, probably not. 1856, nope, but 1743 is right. Now I'm going to also flag it with a star so we know that it's right. So all right, so now we've got a question. Now we need to make a quiz to add it to. So we'll do it as a top level thing. We'll call it a quiz. And we're going to go here and add an assessment. Pick a question to add. We've only got one. And we save it. And let's see how this looks. There's a quiz. Okay, so it's got our picture on there, a little big, but it's fine. So we could, was he born in 1976? No, that's not the right one, but he was actually born in 1743. Yes, that's right. Okay, that's good. Now, oftentimes we want to add a assessment within the video. So let's add that assessment, have it stop the video and add it. So let's go to our movie, which is under Thomas Jefferson. We click on the video option, and we're going to add a trigger at a certain point to where the video will start. So we're going to go play the video. It starts it off at 34 seconds. These annoying ads.
Like, Constitution is the Constitution.
And let's say that,
With that.
oh, right about here, about 40 seconds, we want to add a
Adams
trigger.
became president. And immediately they started butting heads. John Adams was like, it's a
Okay. Now let's add what do we want to trigger at that point? We want to put in that that quiz, which is I think is 1111, and save the changes. Okay, now let's see how this worked out. So we're going to preview the course. Let's go up to Jefferson. There's the movie. And then at 40 seconds, it's going to stop and give us that question. And there it is. Let's save this course out and deploy it. So we're going to go to the, we're going to save the course, and it's going to basically save it to the spreadsheet. And I'll show you in a second what the spreadsheet looks like. And if we go to settings, we go to the deployment, and that's the deployment link. So this is the link you would give to your students. And that's the final thing. So we go through here, we've got our Jefferson page, the movie about Jefferson. We've got our quiz in the middle of it. I'm just going to skip it this time. And then it continues on. The John Adams page, the assessment. Now I'll show you what this looks like. So essentially what it's done, it's made a spreadsheet, a very simple spreadsheet about all those things in my Google Docs thing automatically for us. So you couldn't edit this yourself if you wanted, but it's easier to use the tool. So that's how to author a course in Scale. Briefly, there's lots more it can do, but this is a good intro to how to make really a basic thing. Obviously, you can add rules and a variety of other kinds of actions to it. So thanks for listening.